Hi guys. Oh, welcome to Friggin' Jeep. My name's John, and it looks like the camera's got to come up just a hair. Anyway, I'm gonna try to undo that box and see if it'll fit in there, pick up some of that kind of stuff. But I got a question for you. I'm having trouble answering comments on my YouTube channel. It's like you hit a letter and you wait 5 minutes, and then the next letter comes up, you hit it. And I was curious whether that was my computer or if everybody's having problems. Today is Wednesday, and I went and deleted just a ton of stuff yesterday, thinking that the memory was full and it just couldn't work right. And I had a hard time downloading the video last night. I had to take 2 shots at it. So, is it here, or is everybody having a little trouble with YouTube right now? You know, they got an awful lot of people going in there, and if their memory gets filled up, you know, I guess they need another warehouse or something. I don't know how that works. But I was just curious if other people are having a little bit of problem with that, or is it just me? Computer's old. It's, I don't know, 15 years old. I don't know how old it is. I was having troubles in the past, and I've changed in doing videos and putting them into the movies, but then it's still saving the movie in the pictures, and it's also saving the movie in the movie thing, and I don't know how to get out of that stuff, so I might have screwed up something when I was deleting a whole lot of stuff. So anyhow, it's hot out here. It's like 2 o'clock. I had a hard time getting out of the door again today, which I always do. Not really into it, a little headachy. But I watched Adam out at Hometown Acres. He had an accident with a angular grinder with a cutoff wheel on it, and it's pretty sad. He's all right, but I can kind of relate to that. I have a kickback on a saw here that sent me to the hospital. His sent him to the hospital. I just had a friend that had a hospital thing where he was trimming a tree, and he was up on a ladder, and he was done. He had a reciprocating saw. He left it on top of the ladder. We got down the ladder. I mean, it wasn't going. The saw fell down and tore up his leg big time, because it's like a big sword. And he got 20-some stitches. He had a ripped open artery and all sorts of stuff. So accidents are strange in accidents. So be careful out there. Watch Hometown Acres. I didn't watch to the end. I didn't need to see the gruesome part. I'm not too hip on blood, and you know that's just sad, and I don't know. But a lot of times when I'm running the angle grinder, and I didn't do it yesterday, I think more than anything it woke me up to I got to start putting that leather apron on a little bit more. That's one reason that I like doing a lot more stuff in the fall when I have a coat on. Nowadays, when I get a little poke in the arm, I get a big red blood spot and stuff like that. And my bark is getting thinner. So I don't know. That's the way it is. Just it was good. I was wire brushing that thing the other day, and I didn't put my vest on, and I had a million little pieces of wire stuck in me. I looked like a Christmas tree lighting up all over when the sun got on me. I must have pulled about 20 of those off, and I don't know what I was thinking. I guess when you have an accident, sometimes you're not thinking right. And accident is an accident. I had a wire brush catch me in a shirt and all that kind of stuff, and just it gave me a pretty good red rash burn or whatever on my belly. It didn't draw blood. So anyhow, let's get back to what's going on. I'm gonna take this interesting box apart. Take the you think it's gonna stay together when I pull the I gotta turn on my on and off light. There's a gentleman says all I gotta do is change the ballast in that and put LED lights in there, but I'm just not getting around to that. He's probably right, and I should do it, but I don't know how all that mechanism would work. The reason I got what I got in there now is because these were cheap throwaway lights, and I have a lot of them. So if I wanted to take a ballast out of another one, that one bulb there looks a little burnt at the end. This light here is out. Both of these are a little burnt. I don't think they like this atmosphere out here a whole lot. And that one hadn't been on. I think I changed the ballast in that one. That was a little 4-footer, or I didn't have a ballast for it. There was a grocery store. Oh, this has been over 20 years ago or something like that, before LED lights come around. And they're redoing for more energy efficient lights. They were taking all these out. And I was bringing about 20 home a night. That's about how many the couple guys are up there changing. So the box didn't come apart. Oh, I should have run my grinder there and grinder there to smooth it out. Yeah, that looks a little bad. Yeah, I get that. This thing doesn't do a whole lot anymore. It gets just enough. Take the sharpness off of it. Oh, I gotta pull those staples out. Don't want to get too fancy. Get some of the glue. Whoops! Don't want to. Yeah, that's real good for the knife. This thing's been through a couple battles in its life. Almost looks like I know what I was doing. Nah. It looks like I could have another edge taken off of it. I think it's just right for a old dilapidated wood box. Heck, I might be able to get down here. This thing's been a good little tool. I don't know, it's probably a Stanley. I don't see a name on it anywhere. I think I might have actually bought that. It's not very sharp, even though it seems to be doing good here now. And what the heck? I've done everything else. That one's got one on there. That's good enough. Let's see if it might fit in over there. Oh, I didn't cut those knobbies off the bottom, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. It's not like it's going in 100 times, but when I cut myself at the end, you can say, you big dummy, I got to let this down a little bit. Whoops. I undid the screw and it came down. Well, is it going to fit in there? Most likely not. But maybe. I know it's going to be in an angle because of that battery tray. It needs. Can't get it up straight to go down in there. There's some wires in here in the way. Didn't quite make it, I don't think. Well, doesn't look like it's going to go in the way I planned it to go in. Maybe if I come over this way a little further. Uh-oh, we're getting pretty close. Oh, you know what's catching on it now is bolts. Well, that ain't going to just drop out of there. These bolts down here are longer than these bolts here. We took up that clearance. Nothing makes any difference. So I'm just going to start putting stuff in there. I'll bring you back in a little bit when I got stuff in there and covered up and the best I can. I think I might try to find a barn to put it in. If I can't find a barn, might have to build another one to put this beast in. Should have had it in there for years, but I wasn't that smart. Anyhow, I did spray it down. You can see the shiny on it, I think. Maybe you can see the shiny on it. I did spray it down real good with what stuff over here? This stuff here, that's a pretty good stuff. That'll stop the rust, I think, or slow it down to my speed. So let me get this stuff put in there, and like I said, I want to get this out of here so I can get working on the oil pump. That's kind of what I'm going on. So the box didn't fit in there too good, but it fit in there good enough. The battery box that was on this side, it just fit in tight, so maybe it's all right that way. So we'll be back in a bit. Well, this really doesn't have anything to do with anything, but it amazes me. See this bracket? That's the whole part that rusted off of the bottom of the radiator. These bolts came out. That's what's amazed me about just about this whole extraction. I banged it. Can you see all the rust that's on there? But those bolts came out. I can't believe that, but believe it. And I had big, I don't know, real big washers underneath there. That must be brass or something, because it turned a chalky whatever. But it'll go into the save pile. But I just thought that was kind of, there's on this whole thing coming apart, there is only one thing that I couldn't get off. See, look, that almost looks like it might be bronze or something, but it doesn't appear to be that way. The only thing that I had to cut off or do was I couldn't get that one screw out, the ground screw to the gas thing. Everything else came undone. That's the bucket of parts. Still putting some in there. I still got a whole bunch to go. I'm going to try to slip the radiator in there on a board and see if it'll be all right there. So that's where I'm heading. Be back in a bit. Hi guys. I know this is kind of boring to a lot of people, including myself. I'm getting tired of it. I built this crazy little thing to protect the radiator. See, the radiator's in there, and that's pretty good and tight. This stupid rack. I got to take this out of this thing. I'm not doing too good here. Anyhow, this is put in here and it can't slide because it's going to hit here and hit over there. This can't slide forward because this board here, which sits on a pilot shaft, or the shaft of the thing there, but there's not any, you can see there's not any weight on it, holds this adapter in. Flywheels in there, everything's in there, accoutrements that I might need. I'm thinking about this bracket here, thinking about that down there. These oil lines I kind of need. I don't really need this bracket here. I got a bunch of them. This can't slide out because if it does, well, it's tight, but it would hit these. So that's about it. It's about, I got to go back and get the tractor and time to move this thing on out. The only thing I'm worried about, for all these years I've kept the wheels in a barn, so they're actually in pretty good shape other than a little bit of surface rust. I didn't really want them sitting out, but I don't have much choice on that. Anyhow, that's an update. Now I got to move on to cleaning up you can see all the crap around here, especially down there. All this came out of the pump, and more actually. A lot of that's washed off, so I'm going to clean this place up after I get this thing out of here. And I'm hoping that I can put a totes over the whole top of it. Cut out the top. I got one down there, the top's cut out. If I can put that over it, it would really make me a lot happier. So that's what's going on. We'll see you later in a bit. Bye. Well, I've showed in the past how a lot of these totes containers can make pretty good covers for things. So I'm shooting for putting that over that. Now I cut this, is about the size of that, and what I did was drew a really crooked line there. Of course, I'm good at, doesn't really matter. Anyhow, I measured down 24 inches from the top there, so it'll keep it at 4 inches off the top up there. I didn't measure the front, so that could be just a total screw up. I got no idea. To do this job, I think I'm going to use this. I don't know whether it'll cut it or not. Here I'm going to cut. I want some of this lip off, but I got a feeling that's going to give it rigidity, so maybe I better leave it there. Yeah, we'll cut off what we got. That cuts that thing better than anything. Well, let me see if that'll go on top of there. Figure you guys haven't had your laugh for the day. If you go up and check out Eddie Horvath, the Eddie Horvath, he's got the word of the day. I think I got the laugh of the day, maybe. I didn't cut this exactly. This was cut for something else. So it's kind of a, I don't know whether it'll work thing. Ooh, can't reach that. Got a problem here, guys. Oh, I think I need a helper. It was cut for something else, and it's not cooperating. I'll put you there, you're going to be in the sun. They got latches on the top. If I can get my hand into that, which is what this is down here. This is the rope for pulling it. If I can get that up, maybe. Where's that cutout? I think I missed my spot. Guys, you could have told me about that. Now it wants to go down over. Seeing it, this ain't gonna be a reoccurring. Put it on, take it off. There's a word for that. That stuff has had silicone in, 100% silicone in there, and that thing is so slippery you can't even begin to imagine. Well, let's try again. Woo! Almost had it though. It was close. Let's see, maybe I can do it this way. Wait a second. That's the wrong direction. What am I thinking here? Yeah, that's right. Like I said, I thought I might have to cut off that ridge. It's just a little bit more than I can handle here. It's caught in that stupid ridge that I kind of thought I was supposed to cut that off. Crap. Well, we will, let's see, it's this ridge right here. I think, man, it's over. It's real thick right there. Ain't this exciting? If I wasn't using this for something else, I guess you guys didn't see much of that. It's longer this way than it is this way. So if I had a empty one, I don't have any more empty ones, I would have cut it long ways and then been a lot easier to get on there, I think. Well, I know it would have fit better. This is a real tight fit this way. Like, real tight. But it's not like I'm going to be doing this, I hope, every day. Now I don't know where that cutout is. I keep losing it. Oh, I forgot to take that stuff out. You guys are not keeping up with me very good here. Now, hopefully, all right. Well, I guess if the top's there, I can cut this down a little bit more. Have it come down, couldn't I? So then I'm going to get into that ridge there. I don't want to booger that up. That'll be for another day. Whew. It's hot. This is a hot day. That's got pretty well protected. I'm gonna have to get some aluminum foil and putting those in so the daggone mice don't fill that up with nest again. I'm all right with that. That's covered. I wish I'd done that years ago. Back in a bit. Bye. Well, I didn't like it, so I went ahead and cut out a couple notches there, cut the flanges off there, and it came down a little bit closer. It's just a little tight on there to hold, but you can see it's about, I don't know, it's about 8 inches from being down on top. So if there's condensate on there, it shouldn't drip down on there, and if it does, can't do much about it. So that's where we're at. Whew. And the old boys wore out. It's hot out here. They said it's going to be a hot one, and yeah, daggone if I didn't get some bleed. Oh well, you didn't work right if you don't have some. We'll see you in a bit. Bye. Well guys, it's been a long day. Hot. Very hot. They said it went up to 100. I don't really think it did here, but I did see some high 90s. Guess we're out of the city a little bit. I've got the, because they're calling for rain tonight, I got the engine moved from up there next to the Bobcat to down here so I can, it's under roof and under cover, so it shouldn't get any blowing rain. Probably ought to put something on it there, but next day. I'll do that another day. I'm wore out. And look, this is a miracle. It finally made it down here. It kicked me in the butt pretty good. That thing was not light. So it looks like it'll work pretty good because this is the suction and it can go right down to a pump area down there. Now I gotta drill all these holes, make sure that this is flush here. Pop all these holes in there. I'll probably do it one at a time. That tank might not come off of then, but I still want to put a valve on here because if you wanted to change either one of these filters, I'm assuming that it would flow all the oil out. So if I put a valve in there, I can shut that out, is my theory. I don't know whether that's a good theory. This doesn't look quite straight. No, it doesn't. Oh well, I'm not too worried about it right now. Anyhow, that's what we're looking at. That I got the, I don't know if you can see way over there, I got the pump tucked in over there. And now we'll go up to the garage for a quick thing looking at the oil mess. Oh, you know, I need to take the blower up there. I got most of that up there cleaned off. I'm not going to do any more up there. Wait to see what goes on tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get that, start working on a bracket for the hydraulic pump on that instead of that Hypro pump on that. We'll go up there and take a look at it. So I'll be back in a minute. Stay tuned. Well, we made it up here. This this is here. The first thing I got to do is take the coupler off this motor. Of course, nothing seems to want to work. And it was funny. I said something about the lights. This one didn't want to come on at all tonight. This one here hadn't come on in a while. So I guess I kind of forced my hand to finding a ballast and put in there. I got a bunch of them down in the barn. But every puller I had has a big thing on it. So even though I can put that over there, which would probably be a good plan, so I'm banging on that. For now, I'm just going to try that. I've mentioned these before. This is a ratchet that went bad. I just cut it off. Hopefully this will come out. Well, that's what I'm hoping on. I didn't want it to bang on the ground. It's a nice little pump. I think it's a nice little pump. I gotta mic the size to see if I got Lovejoy connectors for it. That thing is pretty tight. But it's moving. Perfect size for that. This is a multi-spline thing in there. It's got a little keyway. Uh-oh, now it doesn't want to turn. I was afraid of that. I didn't want to do that. I was just turning it by hand, free as can be. I might have just roached this. Pump. Oh well. I'll bring you back later. I knew I shouldn't have done that. That's why I was looking for the puller, but I didn't have a puller. I guess I could have come up with a press thing or something. I don't know. Stupid move. You got to pay to be stupid, so we'll have to see if I can resurrect that. We'll see you in a bit. Well, guys, I ain't doing so good. I did get my handy tool. This is that tool that I showed you the other day. I think this should come out of here. I know I got the key on there. I really didn't feel like taking that out. I don't know where the gears are. They're not in there. That looks like it's all bearings. So the gears are probably in behind there. In fact, I can see the gears. So this should come out of there. So this is that handy little tool that I keep telling you about. Paper thin, and I'm sure there's an O-ring in there I don't want to screw up. This thing ain't coming apart particularly. Oops, went in there a little bit too far. Might have to get a screwdriver at this point. I thought that would come out a little more willingly, but I guess not. I guess I gotta get a bigger pry bar. There's all sorts of crap in there that shouldn't belong in there. I wonder what I did. Maybe it's just something that was in there anyway. I gotta go get a screwdriver. Don't want to use a very big one. This is aluminum. Just tease it a little bit, I guess is what I'm doing. Boy, you ain't getting that screwdriver in. That's a very little one too. There, that opened up but just a hair, maybe enough to get that in. Well, it's coming apart. There's my paint. Still don't have any turn though. I guess I'm going to have to end up taking that key out, so maybe it'll turn now. Think I got that lucky? Nah. Boy, I screwed that up a big time, didn't I? Alright, I gotta get that key out. We'll be back in a little bit. Or not. Don't know. Well guys, I think I'm done for the night. I think the pump is done for the night. It's about an hour. I bet it's over an hour from the last little segment. It's up and running. It's turning one direction. It locks up this direction. Maybe it's not locking up this time. Feels rough as a corn cob, dry corn cob, frozen dry corn cob. And I don't know if you can see, there's a few little extra parts that aren't going back in there. It must have been some kind of a thrust thing in there at the end, and I don't know. It's going to self-annihilate, I'm sure. But I can get the size and all that kind of stuff and get it on there and see if it'll work. So that'll be tomorrow, because I don't seem to have any lights. So we'll see you. Do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe button. And I don't know. We sure plan on being back tomorrow. We'll see you. Bye. Bye.